Viewzi.com.
So essentially what we do is we take searches that people do within Viewzi, and we try to figure out the type of stuff you're looking for. So if you're looking for apples, we try to decide if that's tech or if that's apple pie, and depending upon what we figure out that search is for, we will decide on displaying the data in a specific way. So it may be recipes or it may be tech news.
But also I noticed that you can slice and dice so many ways of how you search and what the search results look like.
Yes. So we're not crawling the web. We're what's called a meta search engine, which means that we take the databases out there of other search engines, and then what we're doing is putting kind of a candy coating on top of it. So you can come into Viewzi and you can search Google, but we present Google data in a different way, like in a timeline view. Or we may take Google data and mash it up with Yahoo data so you can see them side by side. We can still present stuff like text, or we may give you a view where you can see Google, MSN, Ask, and Yahoo in the same page, but they're all screenshots. So we have the capability of not only looking at different search engines that you may use on the web, we can also narrow down the searches we do. So if you're looking for recipes, I don't want 15 million results from Google when I'm looking for the best enchilada recipe. I want results from recipe sites. So not only do we only search recipe sites, but we present them in such a way that the photography is absolutely gorgeous, and all you have to do is look at the basic ingredients, and then if you want that recipe, we shoot you straight over, because at the end of the day, we're still a search engine, so we shoot you straight over to that site where we got those results from.
How do you think, I mean, it's absolutely breathtaking, but do you think it will help you be able to reach a mass market?
Don't want to reach a mass market. We want to reach a small segment. Now, Viewzi is something that's akin to, a luxury car or something like that. The majority of people, when they go to work, can use a Honda Accord or a Honda Prelude, and it does just fine for them, or a Civic. But you still see people going to work in Corvettes. And what we're saying is that, number one, we're not trying to outdo search. Everybody, Yahoo and Google and those guys do an amazing job at collecting data. And Viewzi doesn't exist without them. What we're doing is we're taking Yahoo and Google and we are enhancing the experience so that if you're not looking for solely a utility, but you may want the journey to get to what you're looking for to be a little bit more fun and entertaining and maybe more rewarding, then maybe Viewzi can fit that need for you. So, consider the average user, 9 times out of 10 every day, they may go to Google to get a quick result on something, but when they go to look for movie times in the local market, or they go look because they want to find the latest Pearl Jam song, they may go to Viewzi because we have a much better way to find MP3s on the web or to buy albums on the web. Or they, if you're looking for a recipe, it may be more. It may be a faster search and a more enjoyable search to use Viewzi because you don't have to sort through all the extra stuff that Google gives you, and we're only presenting stuff to you with images so that you can see what you're going to be clicking on, as opposed to going there, looking at it, not what I'm wanting, having to come back. Go again, look, don't like it, come back. We try to give people as much information as we can within the search results, so when you've made the decision to jump off and go to where you need to go, it's the correct decision at that point. For us, success is once you leave Viewzi, we don't want to see you come back because that means we failed.
What do Yahoo and Google think of this?
They are tickled pink about this. We have access to open APIs like everybody else does. There are a few situations where it gets a little bit tenuous because Google doesn't want us to be displaying search ads for Google on Yahoo's results and stuff like that. So there's been a couple of situations where we've had to have like hand-to-hand negotiations to make sure it's okay with what we're doing. But 99% of what we're doing is through openly available APIs that anybody on the world can get access to, and we're adhering to the same policies. The only time when we're not is whenever we're taking data and we're adding the same data on the same page, but we've got existing relationship or existing agreements with them that right now it's okay. They may pull the plug at some point, but right now they're okay with what we're doing.
And a question a lot of people always wonder in these situations: how are you making money?
We're not. We are all funded through angel funding at this point. The business model, though, is Well, I'll take that back. Not that we're not. We do have an existing relationship where we've cashed our first check with a household name, just say retailer, where we're going to go in and create Viewzi for them and essentially rebrand Viewzi, white label it. So that's a B2B model. If you look within the interface, we're fortunate that we have all kinds of different ways that we can monetize the engine. One example is, so we use Amazon for a lot of our data sources. Well, anytime someone goes to Viewzi, finds what they're looking for, and makes a purchase, we get a cut of that purchase through their open API. Say, and this is not the situation, but say Nike or Adidas came to us and said, you know what, when someone searches for soccer, we want the Nike soccer view to come up first. That's a potential, and we've talked to people about that kind of a scenario, but we don't have anything actively going on. So there's a lot of real estate, and there's a lot of different ways that we can monetize the site. Some are active now, but definitely the company at this point is completely dependent upon angel funding, and we'll be setting up a Series A in the next 6 to 8 months.
What are the origins of this?
Brandon Cotter, who is the CEO and the chief user, and Chris Mancini, who's the co-founder with him, are both former Broadcast.com executives. And so after Broadcast.com was sold and through the Mark Cuban stuff, they went off to do their own careers. And about 2 years ago, they'd always kept in touch and they did their own things. But a couple of years ago, Brandon went back to Chris Mancini and said, hey, I've got this idea. The mathematicians are doing a great job at search from the bottom up, basically from the data, but the interface has been the same for 10 years. There aren't any dramatic improvements in the interface. What if we took what they've already done, and they're doing an amazing job at it, and turned it on its head and said, we're going to design search from the top down using the great data sources that are already out there. So that was kind of the seed, and that was about 2 years ago, and they worked together for a while, and they've slowly been adding angel funding, bringing on employees, and today 16 employees based out of Dallas. We got most people in Dallas and a few people in San Francisco.
So like Houston, Dallas probably isn't considered. I mean, it's a little more tech-centric than Houston, I guess, reputation-wise. But is there any struggle being located in Dallas versus being on one of the coasts?
Only because there's too many times when I've missed flights when I shouldn't have. The travel to get in front of the right people is can wear on you for a while. It gets old real fast. But I don't know. I mean, we were able to find locally some people that are amazing designers. You can see through the interface we've done really well there. And when we've reached out to find people externally, we've had one person move from Hawaii over to San Francisco to be with the rest of the team. And our latest hire, who's a PHP rock star, actually lived in Kentucky, and he is going to move to Dallas to be with the team. So definitely the cost of living here, because it's so cheap compared to other places, is a benefit for us. We haven't had an issue with finding resources. I mean, Brandon has got a team that's just phenomenal.
All right, anything else you want to add that's important about Viewzi?
Go try it. Viewzi.com, and let us know. You can. We've got a feedback button on the bottom of the site. If you don't like what you see, click the button, fill the form out. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Giovanni, and I answer everybody's Twitter. And whether you like it or not, if you don't like it, I'll poke fun at you first, but then I'll get serious and talk to you about what you don't like.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.
MikeMcGuff.com